contest sign-up season is here, and you don't want to miss out on the action. With millions of dollars on the line each and every week in the world's biggest football contest, there's only one proxy to trust, footballcontest.com. Maddie and Tony have set the gold standard for football contest proxy services with 20 years of experience and over 13 million in winnings for their clients. All you have to do is get to Vegas between now and the start of football season to sign up in person, and they do the rest, making sure your picks are entered every week. Whether you want to play in the Circa Sports Million, Circa Survivor, Super Contest Gold, or the new Super Contest College Contest, Maddie and Tony have you covered. Their new website has everything you need to know about these football contests and more, including how you can reserve the best proxy in the business. Experience matters, so go with the pros at footballcontest.com, the gold standard proxy service.
Sports by the book.
Sports by the book.
Sports by the book. Sports by the book, South Point Studio.
We don't make stuff up here.
I would only play the Pirates team total going under.
What the hell happened to Minnesota's pitching?
This total has really crashed without plumbing the lineup.
I think this number's too high, but they're laying me the 6.
Oh, I know.
Caitlin Clark drives handle on the WNBA.
Never mind all these Mickey Mouse other stations. We are giving you hands-on information.
It's Sports by the Book at the South Point Studio. Here's Jeff Parles and Alex White.
Good morning. Welcome in. It is the first Wednesday of July here on Sports by the Book. I'm Jeff Parles. Alex White is here as well. Good morning, Alex.
Good morning.
Good to have you back.
Happy July, everyone. Yeah, thank you.
We yesterday, if you missed it, we did have a very long conversation with Chris Felica. Be sure to check that out. We covered a lot of ground because there wasn't a lot of baseball to cover yesterday, especially when half the card, it felt like, ended up getting rained out, which we're going to have to dive right in right away. By the way, also, the trivia questions live on the bottom will be there momentarily. Had a first-time winner yesterday as well. So
very good.
We're off and running here in the month of July. All right, 2 games already underway. There are 19 total games today when you add everything up, including the suspended game in Boston that will take place late. That will finish up later today. But we will begin in Philadelphia first. Rotation number out here in Vegas, 953-954. This is Pavetta and Abel here in this first game. Padres are favored, -115, even money on Philadelphia, total of 9 for this one. Early start for the first of 2 in Philly.
Early start right here. I really think the Padres have a starting pitcher advantage with Pavetta going. I mean, he's got 8 quality starts on the year. Looking at McAbel on the other side, I don't really know what we're going to get from him. I mean, had a few good starts in there, but really at home this year, I mean, he got hit up by the Mets, 4 earned runs and didn't finish that. 3 innings for him in that one. And then before that, looking at him at home, Chicago, 6 hits, 3 earned runs for him in that one. Didn't get to 5 innings again, just 4. So take out the bullpens. Don't even want to worry about that. But this first game, I went with Padres, -125 for the first 5.
I can't blame you there. It would only be a look at that. I agree with you 100%. Pavetta, definitely better starter than Abel here in this first game in Philadelphia. We'll get to the second game in a moment, but we have to get the other games that are starting right at the top of the hour, and we go to game 1 of the doubleheader between the Tigers and the Nationals. And this, again, rotation numbers here in Nevada, if you happen to be out here, 983-984. So this is the write-in game, not the originally scheduled game. If you're in a different jurisdiction, it'll be much more easier for you to figure it out. Holden and Williams. So this is a little bit of a different pitching deal because there was going to be Flaherty against Williams at least last night.
Right.
Tigers holding Flaherty for game 2. Williams is a dog here, +135. Holden -50. Total 9 on Detroit and Washington.
Now, this is the game that we should see some of Reese Olson coming back, right?
That is the hope, yeah.
He should be in there as well. So kind of bullpen here, going with different options for the Tigers, which I do think will help them against this Nats lineup. On the other side, kind of just fading Trevor Williams and the year that he has had, his median numbers, 5 innings pitched, 6 hits, 3 earned runs. We know this Tigers lineup, I mean, one of the best in the league, and in the last 7, they remain hot, batting .299 as a team, .347 on base percentage, and a 144 WRC plus. I like the Tigers to get some runs. I went ahead with the team total. I did have to lay a little juice. I went over 4.5 for them. I think it was minus 135. So I like playing it that way. I mean, can kind of make a case for over for the entire game, but I'm just going to worry about the Tigers here.
I can't really blame you on that, Alex, where, again, we've talked about Washington's pitching has been messy once you've gotten past Mackenzie Gore. Williams has been a number 5 starter.
Yeah.
Really, he's been a 5+, really been a number 6 starter, more so than anything for Washington. But total 9 weather, by the way, it's nowhere near as bad as it was across the East Coast yesterday. All these games are going to get played here today. A chance of maybe a random pop-up, possibly, but nothing crazy in Washington. Philly, it looked like they could have had a little bit of a delay, but they are going to go on time. Same with the next game we'll get to, just up the Jersey Turnpike and across the GW Bridge in Queens. Again, Tigers entering the month. They entered it with the best record in baseball along with the Dodgers. Dodgers, of course, last night got out quickly, ended up winning comfortably 6-1 over the White Sox. That was Alex. Full game run line was a 1.5. First 5 run line was a 1.5 last night with the Dodgers against the White Sox. They got home easily on both.
And by the time I looked at one of my apps, I saw minus 2.5. So
still got there easily.
Still got there, but I definitely stayed away. And I was looking at team total. I saw some 6.5s out there. So like you said, got out early and then just kind of stopped there. So anybody who had that, I feel for.
All right, let's go to the final game 1 of the doubleheaders, and then we'll flip back around to get these game 2s and the rest of the baseball card. Same pitching matchup that was projected last night in Queens will go in game 1, and that's Peralta and Holmes. Good matchup at City. Minus 20 on Holmes, plus 105 on Peralta. This total just got smacked down about 7 minutes before game time. Just got smacked to an 8 from an 8.5 that it was legitimately sitting at 8.5 the last 2.5 hours. So late movement on this total here, Alex. Weather in New York, and wind's blowing out for this first game, and it's hot. So I'm interested on why that total went down, even with 2 solid starters here in game 1.
Well, and that is, I mean, I was looking more first 5 under, trusting both of these guys going here, and a slight lean to even the Mets at home with Clay Holmes, who has been really good for this team. I mean, median numbers are solid, 5 1/3 innings pitched, 1 earned run, 4 hits. So, yeah, this would be a game that the Mets really need to get, especially with the second one coming up and first time for them that they will be seeing Mizorowski. So, lean to the Mets and a little bit to that under there, first 5, 4.5, but I did not bet that one.
First 5 still is 4.5, which is good news. There's only one minus 20 out there. The rest is 4.5 minus 25. They didn't want to move down to the 4 and then see the influx of over money on that last moment. Again, this game is going on time, so they'll be starting up soon in Queens. By the way, 2 games have already gotten underway. A's and Rays. Athletics are up 2-1 early in that game. Boy, talk about not taking advantage of your opportunity here. Rays are in danger of getting swept in this series as the Athletics have taken both of the first 2 games, including an extra inning game last night. Yep. And then the Red Hot Pirates, who, of course, bludgeoned the Mets with their offense over the weekend, of course they did, have not given up a run in 19 innings that you're going to make it 20 innings now against St. Louis. Yeah, this all makes sense, right? Pirates and the Marlins are the 2 hottest teams in baseball at the current moment, Alex.
No, they really are. And I was with you. I mean, you said you thought it had a lot more to do with the Mets than the Pirates, but we were wrong. I mean, it has been pretty impressive what we have seen from them as of late. But we know their pitching has always been there. It's really just been, they've been waiting on those bats.
And they didn't even need the bats yesterday. It was the classic Skeens offensive performance for both teams. Of course, Skeens shuts down the opponent, and then the Pirates forget how hitting works while Skeens pitches. But 1 was enough last night. Yep. That 1 run in the 8th, which came off Phil Maton, and that was enough. Skeens didn't pitch great last night for his standards. He just scattered a bunch of base runners, but the Pirates bullpen more than up. By the way, we talked about this on Monday, and hopefully you listen to us because we did say if Wheeler throws a gem on Monday night, you're not going to see those 3-1s plus 350s anymore. You don't. He's plus 190. Skeens is down to minus 130 entering action here today in the Cy Young Award. By the way, those are FanDuel numbers with the asterisk DraftKings numbers the rest of the way. So the best number on Skeens at FanDuel, the best number on DK on Zach Wheeler right now.
I mean, Zach Wheeler is definitely making a case here this year as he has in the past. And Skeens, it'll be interesting because we know that he does have electric stuff, but has been a little different this year than last year. I mean, he's been better at in some starts, and then games like yesterday where, he scatters those base runners. So we'll see. It's getting interesting there.
Let's go to some of these game twos, Alex, first, and we'll start with the write-in game with Philly and San Diego. Again, we don't know what's going to happen in game one. We don't know. So tread carefully, check lineups, do what you always do during doubleheader days because you got 3 of them. And also, again, we'll get to Boston a little bit. That's a little bit funky as well because they finish a suspended game before starting the regularly scheduled game tonight. Peralta and Cease and Sanchez, I should say. Sanchez is minus 145, Dylan Cease plus 130, total of 8. I can't do anything until I see what happens in game one. But Alex, what do you think here?
I mean, I do think we're okay jumping in with the first 5, going with the under. I like both pitchers going today with Dylan Cease and Christopher Sanchez. So I did play a little bit on that one. I mean, you make a great point. You're kind of waiting for that first game to end and seeing how they're positioned bullpen-wise, who already threw, who will not be throwing later in that second game. But first 5, I think we can eliminate that. I really think both pitchers can go deep into this game, 5 or 6. And Dylan Cease, a little bit of a rocky start, but he's really turned it on as of late. And on the other side, I've been talking about Christopher Sanchez, really good lefty, median numbers, 6 innings pitched, just 2 earned runs. Cease is basically the same, 5 innings pitched, though, is his median. And we have seen that with a few of his starts. But yeah, I went ahead and played first 5 under. It was a flat 4.
Yeah, I can't really blame you there. And again, Padres, we've talked about this with this offense. It just has not been the same over the last 6 weeks. And they got shut out on Monday night. Now, granted, that was a great pitcher pitching at his best. But, some of these teams, I think, benefited from the off day yesterday because of the rain. I think San Diego might be one of them before they head back home. They get another off day tomorrow. Then they come back home and play the Rangers, who might be a welcome sign for San Diego with how the Rangers offense has struggled. All right. Now we flip back around the board here in the Vegas rotation numbers. And now we go to the regularly scheduled Met and Brewer game, which again, check your lineups when we get through game one. Check the bullpen usage as well, especially with the 2 pitchers that are going in this game. Because Mizorowski, again, Milwaukee, still going to be cautious with the length for him, even with his absolutely insane start to his major league career. And Tidwell has not gone more than 4 1/3 in any of his outings for the Mets this year. He'll get the start in game 2. Milwaukee's favored, rightly so, with Mizorowski at minus 115, total of 8.5 of this one. Again, it's going to be hot again in New York for game 2 as well as we talked about like for game 1.
So as I mentioned, I did not play that first game. I am going to wait on this one. And depending on what happens, I'm leaning towards the Brewers here and backing Mizorowski until I find a reason not to. And you mentioned it, his first 3 starts, and he's got 19 strikeouts right now in 16 innings pitched. 2 of his starts, 0 earned runs for him. 3 total hits in his 3 starts in the 16 innings pitched. So I got to imagine it the first time everybody sees him, kind of like Skeens last year, it's going to be really tough. And I don't even know how many times he's hit 100 miles per hour, but it's quite a few already on the year. So I would like to back him again here in this spot, especially with the way the Mets have been struggling at the plate. So I think it could be a great start for him. Minus 140, I'd take a shot right there. First 5.
And Mizorowski, again, has been fabulous to begin the year. Just for him, I just wonder once we go through the league once, see how effective he is. But it's been a flash so far for Mizorowski. And the Brewers, who again if you look at the National League standings, the Brewers are right in the thick of this thing. entering action today, currently in that second wild card spot. It would actually be a wild card series rematch from a year ago that we saw where the Mets beat Milwaukee in a dramatic 3-game series. It would be the Mets as the top wild card hosting the Brewers right now. That could be changed by today. By the end of the day, if the Brewers sweep, the Brewers would be holding the number one wild card. If they split or the Mets sweep, the Mets will be holding on the number one wild card. Mets could technically be tied for first place if they sweep and Philly get swept today, but I'm not holding my breath on that one. All right. Let's go next to, look at this, regularly scheduled programming for once now on this Major League Baseball card. Let's go to Arizona next. It'll be Logan Roop and Merrill Kelly tonight in Snakeland. And boy, the Giants are just hemorrhaging badly right now, Alex. Another awful performance yesterday. They lose 8-2. Since for San Francisco, they, of course, made that stunning Devers trade on June 15th. Since then, they've only won one series, which happened to be, of course, naturally against the Red Sox. Since then, they lost 2 out of 3 to Cleveland, swept by Miami, lost 2 out of 3 to the White Sox, and now have lost the first 2 of 4 in Arizona. Times are bad right now for the Giants, but lucky for them, they're only a game and a half behind the Cardinals for that final wild card. Arizona's minus 40 plus 125 on the Giants, Alex.
They really need to flip that switch. I mean, all those teams you mentioned, too, none of them are really playoff teams as of right now. So really weird, concerning what is happening with them offensively. Looking at the 2 pitchers going today, I really do like both of these guys. I think I was kind of hard on Landon Roop and kind of debated whether he should be in that 5 spot or Birdsong. But I mean, I think he is doing really well. And the last 2 starts prove that 11 1/3 innings pitched with no earned runs. Now it was against Boston and the White Sox, but I think he can do decent in this one as well. On the other side, Merrill Kelly, 8 quality starts for him on the year. San Francisco did already see him. He went 7 innings, did have 8 hits in that game though, but managed to find a way. 8 strikeouts, no walks for him, and just 1 earned run. So it's a lean to the Diamondbacks. Can Merrill Kelly do it again? And I know they play better at home, so I think that offense can get going, whether it is against Roper or maybe even the bullpen. But lean to the D-backs, but no strong conviction. I don't think I'll be betting it today.
Just, again, going really poorly for the Giants. Again, all these NL West teams have become compact again. Arizona's only 2.5 behind the Padres now as well. We've talked about this on Monday. Dodgers really have separated the gap yet again, up 8 now on San Diego after winning last night. Dodgers well on their way to getting the 1 seed in the National League yet again with an NL West crown. By the way, Tigers already struck first in that game. It's 3-0. Riley Green, the 3-run homer in the top of the first to right away get the Tigers on the board. So that is a very good start for you, Alex.
Not mad about that. Let's get 2 more.
All right, let's go to Toronto next. Hey, Blue Jays have taken the first 2 off the Yankees so far in this series, including a Canada Day thumping of the Bronx Bombers yesterday. And Jose Barrios is going to get the ball here today for Toronto. He'll go against Warren. So they did it against Fried yesterday as well. So this is down to 1 for the Yankees. The Yankees lead down to 1 over Toronto in the AL East, as we all anticipate. And you know what? I got to give the Blue Jays credit because it looked ugly early in the year. They couldn't hit. Now they've started to hit. Their pitching's held up well all year long. Real shot to tie the division lead today as a small underdog at home. By the way, Toronto's been an underdog for all of these games in this series and have a chance to go 3 for 3 as a dog. And by the way, the series is not over yet today. They'll play a final game tomorrow night north of the border.
Serious conversation needs to be had about this Yankees team and how deep they can really go in the postseason. Because right now I'm not buying on either of them. I like both of the leaders of the other 2 divisions a lot right now, and I like what they have put together, both pitching and hitting wise, meaning the Astros and the Tigers. But I think there is room for other teams that could possibly sneak in there and win a series or 2 and surprise everybody and represent the American League in the World Series. But for today's game, nothing really. I would lean to the under, but I don't know how much I want to jump in here and bank on both of these 2 pitchers. Even though Jose Barrios has been very good and he has a very good reputation, I don't know. I get nervous. There's a couple starts in there, like the Phillies that was in Philadelphia, but gave up 6 earned runs against that lineup. Can the Yankees do that here today, trying to avoid the sweep? And on the other side, it's kind of hit or miss with Will Warner as well. I mean, the good lineups can definitely get to him, and we saw it with the Dodgers. We even saw Boston put 4 on him and Angels 3. Now he is coming off a very good start against the Athletics, who I would say is a very good lineup as well. But no, I don't have anything strong in this one. It's a lean to the under. I think 9 is just a little aggressive.
I just want to go back real quick to those AL odds where the Yankees are still the betting favorites here at the South Point, plus 175. Tigers are plus 250. I know we missed the best of it on the Houston Astros. That's a very reasonable number on Houston if you can be in the 5-1, 6-1 pocket on the Stros right now. They're playing other than Detroit, they're playing as well as anyone. Those are the two teams that are playing the best in the AL. Tampa, I still don't fully trust. Seattle, we know my thoughts on them. I just don't trust them to hit in the postseason. Blue Jays at 15-1 is a little bit interesting as well. But again, you could have had better numbers, but it's a different bet than it was a month ago with the Toronto Blue Jays. Fringe playoff team to you. Oh, they win these next 2 games. They're first place in the American League East, as we all expected. But interesting numbers in that AL pennant race right now. Again, a lot of baseball to be played still and a whole postseason to go through. I
will just say, I mean, it kind of depends. And I know for a lot of these teams with the injuries that they've had on their pitching staff, but depending on who they get back, Spencer Arrighetti, maybe Ronel Blanco, I mean, they're all on the 60-day IL, but I think they have one of the best pitching rotations in the league. Hunter Brown, Framber Valdez, Lance McCullers been great. And then, I mean, Colton Gordon, Brandon Walker, and Ryan Guster, they're doing pretty decent holding those next few spots. But as I just mentioned, those first 1, 2, 3, I mean, that's going to be tough to beat, especially if they are hosting, and that's where the Astros are kind of heading. So I'm with you. I think that is a great price on them.
And again, Houston could very easily end up with the number 2 seed in the American League. Look, if Detroit has any stumble, they could end up with the 1 seed still. Yeah. That's crazy. That may have thought of even just a month ago for the Houston Astros, who have a 7-game lead in the American League West entering today's action. All right, we go to Texas next. Nathan Eovaldi and Chicano, your pitching matchup down in Arlington. Minus 35 on the Rangers here in this one. Texas with a 10-2 victory last night behind Jacob deGrom in their offense for once last night. Total of 8 in this one, Alex.
So looking at these 2 pitchers, and if you just look at the last 3 starts from these guys, Sagano, opponents are hitting 355 with a 6.36 xFIP. You look at Eovaldi, it's a 385, a 5.22 xFIP. But if you really dive into their numbers, there's one that I believe and there's one that I do not so much. So Eovaldi, of course, has 1 start since coming back off of the IL, and it was against the Mariners, and they did get to him. But before that, I mean, really, Toronto just 2 hits, no earned runs, and the Yankees 5 hits, just 1 earned run in that, and 1 walk to his 6 strikeouts. I think with that 1 start back, I think he can pitch well in this one. On the other side, Sagano, I really don't trust. Gave up 7 earned runs in 5 innings to Tampa Bay, and then 3 in the last 3 starts before that. And really, I mean, 7 hits to the Yankees, 6 to the Angels, 8 to the Athletics. I think Texas is going to keep that offense going, and I think that's a very good price on Eovaldi. Now, is there a chance that maybe the Orioles can get to him as well? Of course, but I like my chances better of the Rangers hitting Sagano. So minus 160, I think that is the way. Actually, I think I trust their bullpen better or more too. So I think I just go full game for this one. Minus 135, much better number.
Laying a half a run, minus 15, first 5 for Texas. You could do that as well. Again, Eovaldi wasn't great in his first start back off the IL, but again, expect him to get back in the thick of things once he's fully ingrained again. So, it would only be Texas for me in this game. And also, too, both of these games have gone over in these first 2 games.
Yeah.
If we see an 8.5, I would look to go under, but I'm not sure if we'll see one, in all honesty. All right, one last AL only game here. It'll be Kansas City and Seattle. Up in the Pacific Northwest, Royals got a 6-3 victory last night. Be Nick Cameron and Logan Gilbert here at T-Mobile Park. Minus 75 on the Mariners and a total of 7 in this one, Alex.
Now, the numbers definitely say under in this one. We're already seeing a 7, but full game, I think you could go under that. It is 3.5 for the first 5. both of these guys kind of coming off a rough start, maybe a little bit of a dew factor here for them. And Logan Gilbert much better at home than on the road. And he did have 3 of his last 5 starts on the road, 2 coming into this against Texas and the Cubs. So take out those. Looking at his last 2 home starts, the Red Sox gave up 2 earned runs in 5, and Miami 0, did only go 3 in that one. But lean to the under. I don't know if I'm going to get there, but I mean, Royals and Mariners, we know offensively, neither one of them are really that dynamic. So I do think that these 2 pitchers can do well.
We're going to take a quick break. We got still a lot of baseball to go on this card because of all these extra games, because of the rainouts last night. By the way, Brewers on a Sal Frelick homer have a 1-0 lead early as well in Queens in the bottom of the first inning. So a good day to be a Yurfie backer so far with 3 out of 5 coming home on that. All right, when we get back, Marlins look to continue their hot streak against the Twins. And the 2016 World Series rematch, Game 2 between the Guardians and the Cubs, and more when we get back. Sports by the Book, South Point Studio.
We have 11 amazing restaurants featuring a wide variety for every price range and appetite. South Point's Garden Buffet has something for everyone at unbeatable prices. Or, if hunger strikes in the middle of the night, join us at Coronado Cafe. The American menu offers breakfast, lunch, or dinner 24 hours a day, plus a Chinese kitchen for authentic Chinese dishes from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. From steak and eggs to wonton soup, it's fast and friendly service 24/7. When you need a quick pick-me-up, you can find it at our state-of-the-art Starbucks just inside the main South Point entrance. Order ahead with the Starbucks app for easy mobile order pickups. Or enjoy your favorites in the relaxing dining area anytime, day or night. If you love Mexican food, Baja Miguel's has all of your south of the border favorites. There are dozens of classics to choose from, like fajitas, ceviche, chimichangas, tacos, and more. And for spirit lovers, Baja's colorful non-smoking tequila bar is right outside.
Sports by the book.
Sports by the book.
Sports by the Book. Sports by the Book, South Point Studio.
We don't make stuff up here.
I would only play the Pirates team total going under.
What the hell happened to Minnesota's pitching?
This total has really crashed without plumbing the lineup.
I think this number's too high, but they're laying me the 6.
Oh, I know.
Caitlin Clark drives handle on the WNBA.
Never mind all these Mickey Mouse other stations. We are giving you hands-on information.
We're back in Sports by the Book, South Point Studio. Alex White's alongside me. I'm Jeff Parles. Happy to be with you here on a Wednesday. The chat question is in the bottom. Apparently do not have a winner yet. So, but it's a baseball question from the peak of the steroid era. Let's just go with that here today. So it should be a fun one here today. All right, Alex, let's go to Miami next. Marlins and Twinkies. How about those fish? Shocking, right? Marlins, who were one of the worst teams in baseball honestly, up until the stretch, have now caught the Atlanta Braves for 3rd place in the National League East. Marlins have now lost since June 21st against the Braves. Pretty crazy, in all honesty. They won that series, too. Swept the Giants, swept the Diamondbacks behind a dominant pitching performance yesterday from Edward Cabrera, who threw 7 awesome innings, who, again, we've always said this with Cabrera, great stuff, just no consistency, and the consistency was there last night, and he threw 7 shutout 2-hit innings for the Fish in a 2-0 win Yeah, look at that. Miami actually ahead, not even tied, actually ahead of Atlanta entering today's action. It's Simeon Woods Richardson for Minnesota. It's Junk on the other side for Miami, plus 0.5 on the fish. Total 8.5 in this one.
I wouldn't want to go against this streak right here, especially with Woods Richardson on the mound. I mean, only needed 2 yesterday, but it was Joe Ryan, I think the Twins' best pitcher, if not one of them. But now, last time I was talking about Simeon Woods Richardson, he threw a very good game against Seattle, went 5 innings, 0 earned runs, just 2 hits for him, 6 strikeouts and 1 walk. Kind of a do factor. Was that a one-off? I mean, looking at his past games, it kind of is. I mean, he had 2 really good starts, Seattle and Houston. And besides that, I mean, he gave up 6 earned runs to both the Orioles and Texas and 3 to Milwaukee. So I think you got to add in some juice. You want to be with the streaks here, and I think you'd have to go with the Marlins. But I wish I was getting more than just even money, because I don't really trust Jansen Junk on the other side as well. So that makes it a little bit tough, but lean to Miami.
Yeah, it's hard to go against the streak right now, but that's a lot of respect to Junk at plus 105. That is a lot of respect. So no go. Nothing happening here. All right, game 2 of the Nats and the Tigers. By the way, Tigers are still hitting in the top of the first. It's 6-0. Detroit still hitting in top 1.
For Trevor Williams.
That's a good start for the over in that game. This is game 2 on the bottom of your screen right now. So this is the game that will start around 6:45 local time in the nation's capital. Mackenzie Gore and Jack Flaherty, -10 on the Tigers, -0.5 on the Nats, total of 8. I talked about it yesterday, Alex, with Flaherty. Flaherty's home road splits. He's been every bit as good as you could have hoped at Comerica. He has been awful away from it. Total of 8. I kind of wish I was getting Gore at a plus price. Absolutely seeing where the Nats are on their way to getting skunked here in game 1.
Yeah.
But I can't do it at that pricing, Alex. I just have to stay off of this, even with how poorly Flaherty has pitched away from home.
No, I agree. Mackenzie Gore, really good. I guess we could wait and just see how the rest of this game goes, but it's kind of looking like the Tigers aren't going to have to use many arms in that one. Now, Mackenzie Gore does have a chance to get hit up here by this Tigers offense if they can keep it going. So 2 starts ago against the Dodgers. Now, that was in LA. He did give up 5 earned runs on 5 innings and 2/3 pitched. So, I mean, I really think this Tigers offense is right there with the Dodgers this year. So that makes me a little bit nervous, but I'm with you. I mean, I don't love what I've seen from Flaherty so far this year. He has been very inconsistent. So I don't want to back them as either. So really nothing for me in that one.
Here's some jarring numbers real quick from Flaherty that I brought up yesterday that I just want to touch on real quick. Flaherty's road ERA is 6.17. More jarring than that, because, there could be some bad luck mixed in there, so on and so forth. More jarring than that. Jack Flaherty has 100 strikeouts on the year, Alex. Only 34 of them have come on the road. It is almost a full 2-to-1 home to road strikeout for Flaherty. Forget being a different pitcher. He's a different human being on the road. He's not the same guy. He just has been so bad away from home this year. So always very cautious. Might not be a bad over in game if Gore pitches well early and then that bullpen comes into effect.
I was curious, kind of looking here. So not quite as many innings pitched though on the road, but I mean, I don't know how many starts necessarily. So 14 fewer innings pitched, but that's still not enough.
Still should be in that scenario should be maybe 15, 18 less, not 34.
Yeah.
Or 36 less, I should say, for Flaherty on the road. All right, let's go to Boston next. So a little bit tricky at Fenway today. They're gonna resume the game from last night that got suspended, and then they're gonna play game 2. We don't know who's starting yet for Boston, but we know Nick Martinez is going to go for the Reds. Nick Martinez carried a no-hitter into the 8th inning last time he started. Alex is a pretty good fade spot, but you have to be very careful. You have to see what happens in the suspended game first before making a bet on this game. But boy, that does feel good, depending on who Boston throws, to try to fade Martinez coming off that no-hit bid his last time out.
Yeah, I mean, it's just really hard to even make any sort of a prediction without knowing what happens in that first one. But I don't hate that at all. I mean, I do think that was more of a one-off from Nick Martinez than us getting that again. Even though, I mean, no. I was going to say his 2 before that, but kind of going back into the starter role as well. So we'll see what they can do here in Fenway, but nothing for me in that one.
Next up, let's go to Atlanta. The Braves last night, it was a 0-0 game to the 9th inning last night, and then the Angels put a 4 spot on, to the 8th inning, I should say. Then the Angels put a 4 spot on Atlanta and got themselves another win to get back to 500. Braves it seemed like they've turned a corner.
Yeah.
And now, ever since completing that sweep of the Mets, have completely reverted to what they were earlier in the year. Lose a series against Miami, split 4 against the Mets, who can't beat anyone right now. Lose 2 out of 3 to Philly. Now lose last night to the Angels. Alex, I think the price is wrong in this game. I'm a little bit aggravated myself. I very rarely look at the overnight markets. I really like doing the prep work morning for this show to see where the market's matured. Looked last night. It's like, whoa, Kikuchi, you're getting plus 125 in some spots. That's pretty darn good. Market agreed with me, obviously. Yeah. Down to plus 05 here. You see plus 110 on Kikuchi and other books. I would only be a play on the Angels because I think this price is a little bit nuts here. Now, of course, it's a baseball game. Atlanta could still win. Fuentes has been okay in his first 2 major league starts.
Any better numbers out there than
plus
just
10.
plus 105, plus 110 is the best? And then first 5, are we getting any?
Well, what do we got, Ryan? Even here at the South? Yeah, it's even across the board.
I like that too. I might actually split my unit and go first 5 with the Angels, getting even money, and then take that plus 110 for the full game. I agree with you. I think the Angels should be the favorite in this game, especially with Fuentes on the other side. And looking at Kikuchi, I think he has had some bad luck as well, because his last 3 starts, hitters are hitting 216. His xFIP's just a 173. It's actually one of the best on the board today. So that definitely makes me want to back him. And this Angels team that, like you said, I mean, 500 baseball, a little up and down throughout the year, but they do find ways to win. So I would definitely be looking at the Angels side, and I think I am going to do that, splitting my unit.
Yeah, don't blame you there. Again, Angels 500, they are squarely in the mix in that American League wildcard race, as we've talked about. Again, that race for the final spot, there are a lot of average-looking teams that are going to stay in this thing. Angels are only a game and a half behind Seattle entering today for the final wild card after Seattle lost last night to Kansas City. All right, next up, we go to Chicago next. There are your standings, as you see in the AL. Again, a lot of teams still very squarely in it because look at Seattle, only 3 games over 500 entering today's action. Cleveland, who has gone on very hard times, but still only 3 games behind right now, will take on the Cubs. It'll be Bybee and Imanaga at Wrigley here tonight. Game 1 of that series. Cubbies got it done 5-2 last night at Wrigley. Weather tonight, it is hot, but the wind is blowing in. So that's why you see an 8 here tonight. Again, it's good pitchers too with Imanaga and Bybee. Cubs minus 160 here at the South Point behind Chota.
Yeah, I think I think I'd have to look at first 5 under. You said weather's okay here, right?
85 with the wind blowing crosswind slightly
okay.
in. Yeah.
I like what I saw from Imanaga coming off of the IL in his first start against the Cardinals. Went 5 innings, just 1 hit, 3 strikeouts. So we can see more of that from him, and I'm sure he'll get that back. But just 1 walk, so his command is there, and no earned runs. So on the other side, I like Tanner Bybee as well. I don't love the fact that the Guardians have lost 5 in a row coming into this and have that losing streak going. So doesn't make me want to back them, even though plus 130 with Bybee is pretty tempting as well. I think the only way to play it is first 5. I mean, comparing the 2 medians of these pitchers too, we're at 3. We got 4 right there, getting plus money. I think I might take a little stab on that as well.
Next up, we're heading towards the end of the card here. We go to Colorado. I feel like I got bad luck last night. It was a game landed 11 on the total, even though it was 8 runs in the first 3 innings. Usually that's a easy over in Coors when you get that sort of start. Weather-wise today in Denver, it is another one. It is 92 degrees with the wind blowing out. Now it's a little bit harder today because it's a Hunter Brown start on the Houston side. Where did that sheet go? Right in front of me. It's Austin Gomber on the other side.
Yep.
The only way I'd look here, because I'm concerned about the ability of Colorado against Brown, even at elevation and hot weather. Houston's total 6.5. I would go over. Wouldn't hesitate. Go against Gomber after his first start has really pitched poorly in his last 2.
Yep.
I would go Houston over their team total at 6.5. That weather is just too good to pass up for hitting conditions at Coors, Alex.
I don't hate that at all. I was looking more just at the game here and backing the Astros getting that win. Of course, it is a very big price. Don't know what the -1.5 is just yet, but I don't hate that either.
You want to lay $1.70?
Oh, man.
Yeah, not great.
I have to lay 2.5 here with Houston, but I don't mind yours over 6.5. Like you mentioned, Gomber. I mean, just in 14 2/3 innings pitched, he's got just 5 strikeouts and 3 walks. On the other side, Hunter Brown, 118 strikeouts to his 28 walks. I think he'll be okay here in Coors Field. So finding a way to back the Astros, it'll definitely be on my round robin in one way or another.
Yeah, this team total is going to probably be my best one of the day here today at that 6.5 with that weather. All right, last one. White Sox and Dodgers. Isert and Kershaw at Dodger Stadium. Dodgers are humongous favorites again. They're -320. Total's 9. First five, by the way, again, Dodgers are laying a 1.5 of the places that have run lines. Full game, they're laying a 1.5, -60. They're even first 5 run 1.5. We're going to start seeing that stuff again when they play Colorado again as well, especially at Dodger Stadium. I'm not doing anything with this, Alex. Dodgers will win. Do you have the stomach to lay 2.5 runs? Do you have the stomach to lay a 1.5 in the first 5? I don't.
I don't either. I mean, if anything, I think you were kind of getting there. Oh, no, you said first 5 and laying that 1.5. I thought you were going first 5 potentially over.
Could do that. I mean, look, the Dodgers are going to score in this game. Dodger team total, actually. Let's grab that real quick. It's 5.5. Now, you could talk me into that over 5.5 on the Dodger team total. You could talk me into that, Alex. Now,
the only issue is, of course, if the Dodgers are winning and we lose that 9th inning for the home team. But absolutely. I don't hate it at all. I like the Astros actually better, and I think that's just because of where Clayton Kershaw is in his career, right? And we've been back in Hunter Brown. So I like that. I like Astros a little bit more, but I don't hate the Dodgers here as well. All
right. That's what we got here on the baseball card. Here today, a lot of games here today on a Wednesday afternoon because of the inclement weather across the East Coast yesterday.
I got to grab my whiteboard. I left it in the cabinet behind us, but
well, you'll have some time. We'll take a quick break and we get back. Going to end a little early here today, but we'll have the trivia answer and Alex's whiteboard, which needs to be retrieved. So we'll get that.
If Vince is watching, I appreciate you when you're here.
Well, we'll be back. Sports by the Book, South Point Studio.
If you're celebrating a special occasion or just love fine dining, you're in the right place. Come experience the crown jewel of South Point restaurants, Michael's Gourmet Room.
Welcome.
With over 600 different types of wines and magnificent dishes prepared tableside, you'll revel in the rich classic Vegas decor and the best black tie service in the world. This intimate gourmet room has earned accolades galore. Come to Michael's Gourmet Room for an unforgettable dining experience. Another famous restaurant is the Silverado Steakhouse, where you'll find the charm and service that discerning patrons require. From top quality steaks and chops to fresh seafood and desserts, you'll love the award-winning wine list and menu at Silverado Steakhouse. Steak lovers have even more options with primarily prime rib. Catering to hearty appetites, the menu features a variety of flavorful prime rib cuts, dry-aged to ensure tenderness, and then seasoned and slowly roasted. Although prime rib is our specialty, it's not the only thing on the menu. There's something for everyone. And if you're craving a taste of Italy, come experience delicious Italian cuisine and the attentive service at Don Vito's. Our culinary team starts with the freshest ingredients and transforms them into traditional favorites. And don't forget Italian desserts. Don Vito's. Savor the taste of Italy. Finally, if sushi is more your style, join us at the popular Zenshin Asian restaurant and sushi bar, where we're serving up the freshest sashimi, nigiri, and sushi rolls. And beyond the sushi, an exciting contemporary Asian cuisine menu, plus a variety of specialty drinks, Japanese and domestic beer, wine, and sake. Balance your hunger with Zenshin.
Sports by the book.
Sports by the book.
Sports by the book.
Sports by the Book, South Point Studio.
We don't make stuff up here.
I would only play the Pirates team total going under.
What the hell happened to Minnesota's pitching?
This total has really crashed without plumbing the lineup.
I think this number's too high, but they're laying me the 6.
Oh, I know.
Caitlin Clark drives handle on the WNBA.
Never mind all these Mickey Mouse other stations. We are giving you hands-on information.
Back in at Sports by the Book, South Point Studio, Jeff Parles, Alex White. Big thanks to everyone out there watching us here today on a Wednesday, dreary Wednesday here in Vegas. Yesterday, the wind went nuts, and now the rain again. Monsoon season.
That's right.
That's what they tell me, at least. All right, trivia question today. An MLB record that still stands to this date was set 23 years ago, in which the most homers were ever recorded in a single day across the league. How many homers were hit, and which team led the pack that day? The correct answer was 62 homers, and the Giants led the way in Denver en route to an 18-5 bludgeoning of the Rockies. Hit 7. By the way, Ryan, we confirmed Barry Bonds did not homer in that game. That is honestly the most shocking part of this trivia, that Barry Bonds did not homer in that game. Of course, that was the year the Giants went to the World Series, ended up losing to the Angels in 7 hard-fought games. And JR, after losing the month of July I don't know anything about July yet. Losing the month of June, JR is on the board here in July, tying Hawks with Mirabelli's yesterday, who got his or her first win yesterday. So JR on the board. There you go. A lot of homers. Makes sense. Hot in July, as we know, across the country. All right. Here we go, Alex. Whiteboard Wednesday. You already have one underway, which you gave out in the open. We're going to give you credit for that Tiger one.
Thank you.
Which is well underway and well in hand at the current moment in Washington. What do we have for the rest of this baseball card here on a Wednesday?
Okay, so just 3 for me today. I am going with the Rangers at home here with Nathan Eovaldi on the bump. I do think he will have a better start. Sagano on the other side for Baltimore. Do not trust him. I'm going with the Angels. We both liked them today. Think they should be the favorite. So I'm taking that plus 110. Looking for their actual official game. But, and then the last one, I'm going with the Astros. I put minus 1.5 at that big price, but I'm going to try and see if I can find a better way to bet it. Don't mind Jeff's at all, over 6.5 for the team total. But then, or I might even take a shot there and find a minus 2 or minus 2.5 with Houston.
Team total over 6.5 on the Stros for me. Again, yesterday was aggravating. I took the regular game over 11 and just landed right on it. Just frustrating, more so than anything. But we'll say Stros did not get great news on Alvarez either, because they were hoping he would come back from his hand injury. Still needs to see a doctor. Pena went on the IL yesterday, So that is one thing to be a little bit concerned about. Now, granted, I think they're more than enough to uphold themselves, as we talked about earlier in the show, with that price dipping on the American League futures. All right. That's what we got for you. Early ending here for us. We're back tomorrow. Full WNBA card on the docket. By the way, Indiana Fever yesterday, without Caitlin Clark, go to Minneapolis and handle their business with ease to win the Commissioner's Cup trophy. The Lynx now will try to be the third consecutive team to lose the Commissioner Cup championship, but go on to win the WNBA championship. Aces did it 2 years ago. Liberty did it last year. So the Lynx will look to make it 3 for 3 with that this year.
Now, of course, those past 2 years, it was the same matchup that we saw, right? Because
for the final, yeah.
The Liberty beat the Aces Commissioner Cup. Aces won. Same thing. Lynx beat the Liberty. Liberty won. I don't know if we're going to see these two in the final, so that might make it a little bit different. But if the Fever get there, then, I mean, hats off to them. But very good defensively with that for them yesterday.
There we go. That's what we got, Alex. We're looking forward to that tomorrow. That will be our final show before the holiday. We're going to take Friday off, but then we'll be back to regularly scheduled programming on Monday. So only one day off on Friday, but we're back tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Drew Dog, Ann, and Ryan, and Vince, thank you all as always. Alex, 3 for 3 today. Talk it into existence. We'll see you tomorrow. We'll see you all tomorrow right here, Sports by the Book, South Point Studio.